What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Strive Sunday Show, a show designed to help you level up your mind, body, spirit, providing you health, wellness, fitness, mindset, motivation to allow you to level up and be the best version of yourself. I'm excited for this week. I'm really excited to bring you a good mindset show. It's kind of piggybacking off what we talked about last time. And yeah, I'm really excited. Let's talk to the chat first. Let's welcome in Mike88NYC. Welcome. Happy's Haunt Nicole. Welcome in. Doreen Jones, Mom. Hello. Thank you for being here. Dominic Scala. Welcome, Dom. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Who else we got? Sam, Samantha Lowe. Hello. Welcome in. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Kate MP, welcome in. Thank you again for everything you do and helping me out. Just providing me good topics to talk about. Nicole says, hope you had a great day at the parks yesterday. I had fun. It was fun. We went to Magic Kingdom, but we didn't stay too long. It was very busy. Movie Mania Nick, welcome in. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. But yeah. So today's topic, what we're going to talk about is proactive and reactive people and why you're going to get way more benefit out of being proactive than reactive. But first, we're going to kind of cover the rest of the 15 habits to practice self-talk. 15 ways you can practice self-talk. I believe we only got to about 8 or 6 last week. Where did we leave off? Hold the phone. Let me go back. I appreciate you guys being here, if I haven't said that enough. Where did we stop? We stopped at believing in your ability to succeed. So we're going to jump right back into that. So believe in your ability to succeed. The next one is don't fear failure. If you guys haven't watched my last one, basically we talked about like 15 ways to practice self-talk and how it can help provide a positive mindset. But fear of failure, you can't allow the fear of failure to hold you back. You got to remember that failure is important and we got to use it to grow, not fear it. We got to replace negative thought with positive thoughts. So again, once we have like a negative thought, we got to be aware that it's a negative thought and being able to change that negative thought and kind of replace it with a positive one is going to benefit you down the road. You're going to have more clarity and so on and so forth. Brian's West Coast Disney's Adventure. Thank you for being here. Welcome in. But yeah, so next on the list, number 9, positive affirmations. Positive affirmations, sticky note reminders, something that's going to kind of resonate with you, kind of help you, again, find a clear state of mind. Donna Jaworski, thank you for being here. Maybe I should just wait because people are still popping in. But thank you for being here, Donna. Miss you and appreciate you being here. But positive affirmations are important. They're going to kind of, again, allow you to focus on the good, focus on what you're thankful for. You got to think, I'm grateful for this. I will choose happiness today. I'm proud of myself. I don't want to be too hard on myself. So just, again, those are going to allow you to kind of help you focus on your self-talk. Don't dwell on the past. Again, you got to focus on being present with where you are. There's a famous Buddha quote. I'm going to read it to you after I welcome in Amy, AGC Magic TV. Welcome in Amy. Do not dwell on the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate your mind on the present moment. Again, do not dwell on the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate your mind on the present moment. This is going to allow you to, again, not worry about what happened in the past, not worry about what hasn't happened yet, but just being in the present moment. You're going to have more clarity of your own thoughts, and you're going to be able to, again, assess how you should feel in that moment. Limit your intake of news and media. Nowadays, there's a lot of news out there that isn't very positive and motivating. So again, just kind of being aware of like where you get your content and what you kind of consume on a daily basis. It's going to allow you to, again, have more positivity in your life instead of getting all this like toxic news and media that's not going to really benefit your own health and wellness. Brian says, I'm grateful for my failure because they give me something to bounce back from and better myself. Absolutely, Brian. You got to be grateful for the losses. You got to be grateful for the failures because those are lessons in disguise, and some people just don't know it yet until down the road they look back and they thought, wow, I'm glad I learned from that failure and kept going. So that's absolutely right, Brian. Helping others is another way, again, to just provide yourself with motivation, inspiration, and accountability. Speaking of accountability, don't want to get too off topic, but if you guys go into the link in my description, I officially created the Strive to Do Better Strive Tribe accountability group. Basically, this is where we're going to motivate each other, elevate each other, and just provide positive feedback, positive reinforcement for everybody, sharing their journey, sharing their goals, and again, just building that community. So go check out the link, request to join. I just put a few questions on there. Just, again, it's going to be a positive environment, and I only want positive people in there. I only want people who are going to contribute and, again, feed off of each other's journeys and successes, failures, whatever it may be. We're just going to build a positive accountability group. So in the description of this live stream, go click the link, the Facebook link, and the Strive to Do Better Accountability Strive Tribe group. Again, it's just going to be a great group of positive people. So yeah, go check that out if you want to be a part of it. Down the road, if I grow the group to a good number of people, like a big group where I can't keep track of everybody, or like there's people I don't know that are joining, like I might end up like having like a small fee for those people that join. Like, not the people that are joining now. It's going to be free. You guys are grandfathered in, and it's just going to be us building each other up. But down the road, I might say, just so you're aware, there might be a fee. So get in while you can, while it's free, and let's just build that cool accountability group. You only truly fail when you give up. Got it. You got it, Brian. Right on the money. So again, helping others is going to, one, keep you more accountable and keep you kind of focused on like a positive mindset. Nicole says, just joined. That's awesome. Happy to have you, Nicole. So thank you. Being physically active, another way to practice positive self-talk. That's kind of piggybacking on what I've talked about before about how exercise helps with your overall mindset. You get those feel-good hormones, and it's going to allow you to feel so much better. So being physically active is going to, one, help you be more positive, focus on your mental health, physical health, and again, allow you to realize that you're in control of how you feel and how you want to live. And dream and set goals, we've already talked about that a bunch. We already know how important it is to set goals. So, 15 ways. We're going to keep moving. We're going back to, yes, Brian, I think Henry Ford said that. If you think you can, or if you think you can't, either way, you are right. I believe Henry Ford said it. Could be wrong. But there's a bunch of people who have probably said it or kind of taken it from other people. Mike says, just went to join. Awesome. Appreciate you joining, Mike. Dom says, currently watching while walking my stairs. There you go, Dom. Multitasking. I love it. What Donna says, what do you recommend for someone like me who's injured, Cody? I do PT, but I still can't really walk much since my surgery. I would recommend getting a set of dumbbells. Even if you can't walk, you could grab dumbbells and do upper body movements. Again, that's going to help overall exercise. If you can't use your legs as much and your feet as much, you could do upper body movements. Set of dumbbells. I could always give you recommendations for exercises. But yeah, walking, if it's not so much, I would recommend doing upper body movements like that. Feel free to message me too, Donna. Send me a message or email me, strive to do better at Gmail, and we can go from there. So let's talk about proactive and reactive. There's basically, think about it this way. You only can control so much in your life, and you can only, there's certain circumstances that are out of your hands or out of your controls. So you have to be aware of focusing on what you can control and not allowing the outside forces, the external circumstances to not affect you so much. Donna says, I'll do that. Yeah, of course. Anytime, Donna. Here to help any way I can. And then proactive is just being aware of the choices you can make, your thoughts, your overall choices in life are going to allow you to kind of realize that you are in control of certain things. And instead of just reacting, you can focus on taking a step back, being mindful of what you can control and focusing on that. But I wanted to share another quote by Stephen Covey, who is the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I believe it was Dom who asked me on my Instagram some book recommendations, and this one I would definitely recommend. It's very specific to this topic that I'm talking about today, but he has a quote. It's reactive people are often affected by their physical environment. If the weather is good, they feel good. If it isn't, it affects their attitude and performance. Proactive people carry their own weather with them. So what does that mean? Basically, that means that you got to be able to carry how you feel, your overall mood with you wherever you go, no matter what the circumstances are. So if it's cloudy and rainy, you don't want to kind of be like, it's going to be a bad day. It's going to be a miserable day. Look at the weather. I'm not going to have any energy because the rain. You got to be able to, again, channel from within, work from within, and use what you got, knowing well that you can't control the weather. So just being aware of not allowing the weather to affect your mood no matter what, and carry your own weather with you. Nicole says, I do feel better when it's a pretty day. And that's very true. It's very hard to kind of differentiate like reactive and proactive. But when we're able to, we're allowing ourselves to kind of say, even though the rain is coming down, I'm not going to allow that to make me have a bad day. Because at the end of the day, you control your thoughts and what you plan to do during that day. Brian says, another sign on the wall above my desk says something to the effect that if an egg breaks from the outside, life ends. If it breaks from the inside, life begins. Great things always come from within. Absolutely, Brian. Yes, great things always come from within, and that's the same thing here. Proactive, we're allowing to think from inside and not allowing the outside forces to affect us too much. Kate loves the rain. I know she does. The rain, again, we can't allow the weather to affect us too much. Nick says, if I see it as raining, I'm like, cool, movie day. Yes, that's awesome. But yeah, you got to just take what you can with what you got, and how the outside forces should not affect us inside. So that is the quote from Stephen Covey. Again, the book, like Donna said, it's a really good book. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you haven't read it, if you're looking for a new book in the personal development realm, I would definitely recommend that one. Let's see. So, reactive is allowing events that you have no control over to control how you feel. That's reactive behavior. Mike says, to me, proactivity is important as a challenged person because I realize the attitude I have towards me is how people will picture and react to me. Absolutely, yeah. If you have a positive mindset and a positive attitude, people are going to kind of respond with that and see that you have a positive mindset. And again, they'll kind of respect you for it. So yeah, proactivity is very important, Mike. So we have to come to the realization that before we allow like the reactive behavior to kind of take over, we have to remember that if we can make the choice to become reactive, we can also make the choice to not allow the reactivity to affect us. So we got to be proactive. Some of the habits that people will get into is kind of playing the victim. They'll feel powerless. They'll say, if only this would happen. They're allowing these outside forces to affect them, and they're shifting blame on everything else around them instead of, again, working from the inside out. So we have to remember that proactive behavior, we're concerning ourselves with things inside our sphere of influence. We focus on what we can control, which if you follow me on Instagram, I talk about that a lot. And that's why I had to talk about this topic, is because so many people out there I see will focus on things, or they'll complain about things that aren't within their control instead of allowing themselves to focus on what they can control, focus their energy on the things that they're allowed to work with, instead of, again, using outside sources to just place blame and say, it would be different if this and this happened. So when we focus on what we can control, we can focus on how we react. So basically, that's the big difference. Is reactive, you're not allowing the control, you're just kind of reacting on impulse. Whereas proactive, you're, again, taking a step back, thinking over the current situation, current circumstance, and saying, how can I react in a way that isn't going to be negative? And realizing that not everything is in my control. So it's almost like you're not stopping time, but you're slowing down time because you're thinking about the situation. You're taking a couple deep breaths. You're allowing yourself to be present and going from within. One of the best motivators motivators I've ever heard was Zig Ziglar. Yes, Zig Ziglar was a great one. Les Brown was another good one. Dude, I could go on. Maybe that could be another topic. Some of my favorite motivational like speakers and just top influencers that I follow, both like from the past and from now. But Zig Ziglar is a great one. Jim Rohn is another good one. Tony Robbins. Like, there's a whole list of them that if you guys haven't heard of any of these guys, they are amazing. And just their overall mindset is so good. Let's keep moving. So choosing your own thought process and response will result in a better outcome than just reacting upon outside forces. So think about it this way. The way I like to look at it is you got to put yourself in other people's shoes. So say you have a negative customer or just person in general that you're dealing with, and they're just unleashing like anger and hate and ranting about something, and it could come off as rude to you, and you could react real quick in that moment and kind of snap back at them. You could be super rude and fight fire with fire. That's reactive behavior. Proactive is, again, taking a step back and thinking, I can't control how this person feels, but I can control how I respond. So the way I like to look at it is if you can put yourself in their shoes, or you can think, this person might be going through a lot. Another famous quote is like, you have no idea what someone else might be going through, so just be kind. But yeah, a proactive kind of response to that would be to, again, treat others how you would want to be treated despite how they're treating you, and kill them with kindness. So again, you don't know what's going on through somebody else's life, and they might be going through a lot of like traumatic experiences that you know nothing about and will never know about. But you can control how you respond, and you can't react. You got to be proactive and think, I don't know what this person's going through. They could have had a rough day. They could have just lost someone close to them. So you have to kind of put this into perspective with how you respond. And that's not reacting, it's being proactive. So you choose your own thought process, and you kind of respond from inside, instead of just fighting fire with fire. But yes, Brian says, Doreen, a good mod knows where they need work and works on that aspect. A great mod helps mods who aren't as great in areas they excel at. I appreciate all my mods regardless. Again, I just appreciate you guys being here. So thank you. Let's see. Being in control of your emotions is transitioning from other people and circumstances being in charge to being in charge of yourself. Again, what I just kind of went over is you can't allow other people's emotions toward you affect how you feel, and you got to be in charge of your own emotions. Kind of sit back, let them kind of process how they're feeling, and then you can respond. And your response is going to be way more controlled and a lot more clearer than if you just kind of allow their feeling like towards you to affect how you feel, and you snap back. Mike says, I've noticed that there are a whole lot of reactive people on the challenge community who really don't allow themselves to even think they can get better. They really always bother because I know they can't. Yeah, Mike, I get it. They don't think they can get better, so they're kind of, again, they got a lot of self-doubt kind of built up, and they might have never had somebody in their life tell them they could get better or treat them the way they want to be treated. So yeah, I completely get that. So yeah, that's tough. So extreme ownership. We already talked about this again in a past stream. Allowing yourself to carry the responsibility and alter yourself like internally to, again, think proactively. Carrying the responsibility that you control your thoughts and your thoughts don't control you. And one of the links in the description that I was like taking notes from is a really like relevant topic to my line of work. For anybody who's watching who doesn't know, I'm a personal trainer. I know a lot of you in the chat already know that, but people that come across this might not. But I'm a personal trainer, and my goal is to help people kind of change their lives for the better. And somebody who has high blood pressure might be thinking in a reactive state to think the only way that I can help lower my blood pressure is to get on medication that helps lower my blood pressure. But to me, from a personal training standpoint, a proactive response to somebody lowering their blood pressure is to work out, to exercise, to help them lower their blood pressure naturally. And eventually, if they keep going at it, keep working at it, lose enough weight, they might be able to get off that blood pressure medication. So that's how we kind of look at it from like a health standpoint, is like nothing against, no, I mean, big pharma, they want to keep pushing out this medication. They want you to kind of have to rely on it, and it's going to help you lower your blood pressure. Whereas the same thing, exercise does that, and more naturally. Movie Amazing Nick, heading out. Have a great night. Nick, thanks for being here. Hope you have a great night. Have a great week. And I appreciate you stopping in. But yeah, so there's two different ways to look at it. Somebody who wants to lower their blood pressure, they can get on the medication like a doctor recommended, and they could also work out. People will, a lot of times, get on the medication and it will lower their blood pressure, but they'll have to stay on the medication and they won't work out. Whereas somebody who works out enough can eventually wean themselves or even just lower their dose of that blood pressure medication and lower their blood pressure for good. So again, reactive, proactive. You have to think about what's going to be best for you down the road, and you got to think for yourself and not allow outside forces to think for you. There's a famous philosopher named Seneca who was in the Roman imperial period. A lot of stoicism, talks a lot about kind of thinking in this like proactive mindset. And this famous philosopher, Seneca, I think his name was Lucius something Seneca. One of his famous quotes, I again linked a bunch of quotes from him. I think there was like 82 quotes. I took this one because it's pretty relevant. It says, "It does not matter what you bear, but how you bear it." So again, this is focusing on the overall hold on, sorry. Okay, we're back. This is focusing on the overall, not like the kind of, what's the word I want? Magnitude of the circumstance that you're facing, but it's, again, focusing on how you bear it or how you react to it. Again, we're not reacting, we're being proactive. So it does not matter what you bear, but how you bear it, how you handle it, how you kind of go about life. So again, it's working from the inside out, thinking about what you can control, and go from there. So what are some ways that we can be proactive? One of the ways, first way, is to notice when you're being reactive. You got to notice that in certain moments, you got to remember that you got to pay attention to how you act. You got to, again, take a step back, take a deep breath, and realize, okay, what can I control in this situation? And once you're more aware of focusing on what you can control, you're allowing your energy and your thoughts to, again, be more positive instead of just acting on impulse. Alter your language, which we're going to get into after this. We're going to talk a little bit about proactive and reactive language because, again, self-talk is so important to allow ourselves to think and talk in a specific way. So alter your language. It's going to allow you to react differently and not let like a negative self-talk kind of get into your head where you're going to be more reactive. Analyze your past mistakes. Analyze your past mistakes, learn from them, let them go, and move on. Brian says, I just tend to avoid bears. Let them bear the burdens of being bears. That's a good one. Yes, avoid the bears. They might not be very nice. But allow yourself to learn from your mistakes, your failures, whatever it may be, and move on. There's a famous Buddha quote, which they talk a lot about, like not letting the past be everything you focus on. Do not dwell on the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. So again, you gotta, again, allow yourself to focus on the present moment, live in the present, and focus on what you can control. You can't control the past. You can't control the future. All you got is now. You got 24 hours. So focus on the now. And make commitments. We already talked about setting goals. Again, if you haven't seen the goal setting stream, that was one of my favorites. If you achieve what you set out to do, you realize you can be responsible for your circumstances. So it's just, again, brick by brick, we're showing ourselves that we're in control. We're not allowing outside forces to control how we react. And the more you kind of realize that your thoughts will run your life, you got to take control of your thoughts and allow yourself to run your thoughts. You picking up what I'm putting down? I hope so. So let's talk about reactive language. Reactive language reinforces the belief that you don't have the control over your day-to-day life. It leads to powerlessness, like I said. It leads to victimhood, and it kind of leaves us paralyzed with not being able to think for ourselves. We're kind of allowing outside forces to think for us instead of acting from within. Proactive language allows you to come to the realization that you do have the power to make your own choices and take control of your life. So the more we can be proactive, the more control we're going to have, and the less we're going to allow everything around us kind of hold us back. So let's talk about proactive examples. Proactive self-talk. This is, again, how we should be talking to ourselves on a day-to-day basis. The more proactive language we can incorporate in our lives, the better. Let's look at our alternatives is one way. Instead of just, again, focusing on outside sources and saying this is how it is, this is how it's going to be, you got to look at alternatives. How can I react? How can I handle the situation better? And how can what I think about or what I do make everything go better? I can try a different approach is another way. So Kate says more positive self-talk. Yes. More positive self-talk is going to allow us to be proactive. So yes, absolutely, Kate. More positive self-talk is what we need. Brian says another quote on the wall at work. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why it's called the present. Yes, that is a great quote. Very good quote. I love that. That's why we got to focus on the present, because that's all we got. We can't control the future. But can we? If we focus on now, we can definitely control the trajectory of our future. I control how I react to my feelings. Think about that. You can't allow your feelings to control you. You have to come to the realization that you control how you react to your feelings. Think about why you're feeling this way and go from there. I can accomplish my assignment, meaning you have that confidence. You believe in your success. You believe in your ability to succeed. So again, we're starting with I can. The next one, I choose. The next one, I prefer and I will. What do all these statements have in common? We're internalizing. We're saying I. Not that, this, those. We're starting from within. We're talking in the first person. I can do this. I will do this. I must. So especially when you're setting goals, you don't say, it'd be nice if I lost 50 pounds, or it'd be nice if I could feel better in my own skin. You gotta say it with conviction. You gotta say, I will choose to live a healthier lifestyle. I will feel so much better about myself in 3 months, 6 months down the road. I can't accomplish this goal of me losing 50 pounds or 100 pounds. You have to, again, believe in your success, and that's being proactive. Looking at the alternatives, taking a different approach, reacting to how you feel. All of these ways are going to be allowing you to be in control. So that's what those have in common. Let's talk about reactive language. This is the language we want to avoid. This is what we want to, again, not allow to kind of take up the amount of space in our overall head. First one is, there's nothing I can do. That's basically, again, playing the victim. You're sitting back. You're allowing all these outside forces to affect how you feel, how you react. You're saying there's nothing I can do. And you're kind of, again, putting yourself in a stagnant position, not thinking for yourself, but allowing everything else to affect your thinking. Mike says, we may not be able to control the path, but we control where and how we walk it. Absolutely, Mike. It's like you can't control the road. You can't control how the road, the bumps, the speed bumps you hit along the way, the obstacles, but you can control how you walk it, how you handle it. That's absolutely right. That's just the way I am. Accepting like negativity, toxic behavior of yourself, toxic habits, and you're saying, that's just the way I am. You're reacting to it, and you're saying, it's just the way I am. Shrugging it off. Say, it's not going to change. No, you got to be proactive and allow yourself to make those changes that are going to help you get better. Surfer Girl, Cherie, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you stopping by. They make me so mad. Again, that's blaming other people or blaming outside forces. I know I've said that a lot this stream, but it's true. You're blaming external things in your life. You're saying, they make me so mad. When you can kind of take a dive deep inside and ask, why is that making you so mad? Or is it really making you so mad? Or are you just not allowing yourself to take control of your own thoughts? So just being aware That when you point the finger and say they or that, this, the weather, you got to be able to, again, think from within. They won't allow that. They, remember, we're talking in the third person. Reactive language, we're focusing on everything around us. I have to do that. Somebody who's just getting into living a healthier lifestyle, you know, they wake up and they got to get their workout in. They might say, I got to work out. I have to do this. And they might not want to. Whereas a proactive kind of response to that is, I get to work out. I choose to do this because I know it's going to help me feel better. What did Brian say? Brian said, the reason there are so many positive affirmations on the walls at my work, well, I do telemarketing. We encounter so much negativity on the phone that the extra positivity helps us focus. Absolutely. That's awesome. See, that's being proactive. That's allowing, kind of controlling the outside forces for yourself to perform better. Instead of, you know, allowing the negativity on the phones to kind of control how you feel, you have other sources of positivity around you. So I love that. That's awesome. Mom says more companies should do that. I agree. Positive affirmations are important. And there's so many great quotes out there that we can kind of remind ourselves that we got to focus on what we can control. So again, just being aware that exercise is a privilege. When you're saying, I have to work out, think about how you can word it better. That's going to be more positive feeling. I get to work out. I choose to work out. Exercise is a privilege that I get to do every day. And I'm thankful that I get to work out. I can't, I must, if only. Those are another few examples of negative self-talk. So I can't do this, I can't do that. Again, you got to be proactive and you got to think of ways around this. How can I look at the alternatives and focus on what I can control? But yeah, just again, being aware of your thoughts and negative thought, a positive thought, being aware of how our thoughts kind of control how we act, how we react, and how we feel throughout the day. We're going to be way more productive. We're going to be way more successful. And we're going to allow us to, again, focus on the positives instead of the negatives when we're proactive. Sebastian the Crab, Jeanette, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Jeanette, I already mentioned that in the link of this description of this live stream, I have the Strive Tribe accountability group. So if you would like to join, which I think you said you would, go click the link. I'm going to be reaching out to some people who also said they wanted to join but aren't here in the live stream today. And we're just going to keep growing that group. So go click that link and join the Strive. She says, clicking now. Awesome. I appreciate you. But yeah, I had some questions sent into Instagram that I want to answer, which I already answered some. Dom, if he's still watching, asked me a question about my favorite books so far. So I have a few favorite books, all for different reasons. It's so hard to choose one. And I read a lot of nonfiction. But one of my favorite books of all time is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If there's any book that I would recommend, based off of people wanting to like help better their mindset, Think and Grow Rich is one of the most powerful books I think I've ever read. Another book would be, I've already talked about 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. What's the name of that book? Why can't I think of it now? How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's a great one. That is by Dale Carnegie. Again, it's a classic. I don't even know when it was first originally written, but the dude was so far ahead of his time when it comes to, again, like being able to connect with people, and just being like able to connect, like make friends with people, and just overall like being a powerful influence in like other people's lives. Mike says, I grew up in a situation where I don't get to do a lot of things people take for granted. So where I am now is definitely a change. And that's awesome, Mike. You're doing what you need to do. You're focusing on what you can control. And I'm so proud of you, buddy. I'm so proud of you. And I know every day you're just getting better and better, which is awesome. So those are a few. Again, if people need recommendations for me, like I have a bunch of books that I've read. I talked about Extreme Ownership, which is like Navy SEALs who basically decided to write a book based off of their trials in the Iraq War. And they talk about like what they faced, what they went through, and how they kind of learned from their failures, how they took extreme ownership of their like situations, and now they're applying it to like life in general, business, and all of that. So Extreme Ownership is another good one. Relentless by Tim Grover. Tim Grover was the basketball coach, not really basketball coach, but he was Michael Jordan's trainer. Michael Jordan's like mental toughness coach. Like he was there like from the start of Mike's career. I don't know why I said Mike. MJ's career, to the end. Like, and he still talks about like Jordan and like how he was like his mindset was what took him through his career, and like that's what made him the greatest. So Relentless is another good one. Again, there's so many books that it's hard for me to just choose one. So those are like my recommendations for anybody who's like looking to level up. Best rest time for muscle growth is another question I got on Instagram. Brian said he just joined the group. Welcome, Brian. I appreciate you joining. Best rest time for muscle growth. Again, that varies. It's I would say for someone really trying to produce the most amount of muscle, I would say like 60 seconds to a minute and a half. Anything over that, you're kind of getting into the strength realm. Like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you're focusing on strength. Anything over 3 minutes, you're focusing on power, where you're doing very minimal reps and you're producing the maximum output. Whereas like if you're resting a minute, minute and a half, you're allowing your muscles to get that pump. You're resting just enough to, again, allow your muscles to kind of take a break and then getting right back at it. You're filling those muscles with blood, pumping the blood from the heart to the muscles, and that's going to produce a lot of muscle growth. So 60 seconds to a minute, we're keeping the intensity up, getting that heart rate up, and just resting as much as we need, but not too much. So that's what I would say. Everybody's different though. Again, everybody's got different experiences. So that's just from my experience. I'm used to resting like a minute and then getting right back to it. And then what is your diet like? What is my diet like? I stick to mostly clean, lean meats. The less processed, the better. Ground turkey, chicken, eggs. I eat like tortillas. Like I'll get like the small tortillas. I'll make mini tacos. I'll limit the stuff I put in, obviously, maybe a little bit of cheese, but for the most part, it's just very minimal foods. I eat like the same stuff every day. But yeah, like lean meats, eggs, avocado. Just I stick to the basics. Just stay very simple, and I'm always on the go, so it's easy for me to just grab some chicken, grab some ground turkey, put it in Tupperware, bring some tortillas, and go with that. So usually that's pretty much it. But if you guys need help with any nutrition stuff, again, just send me an email. Send me a message on Strive to Do Better Instagram. And I'm glad to help you out. But yeah. And the last question was, when is your next Disney trip? Well, my next Disney trip just happened yesterday. I went to Magic Kingdom, and it was very busy. I didn't stay long. I had to renew my annual pass. But other than that, I mean, it was pretty busy. We stayed for like the parade, and that's about it. But I hadn't been over there since January when I ran the marathon. I think that's why I stayed away, is because I ran 26 miles. I was like, I don't want to go back. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Dom says, I'm still listening. Going to check out the Facebook group here. Just finished up a 45-minute stair workout. That is awesome, Dom. Good work. I got to work out my second workout of the day. Mom says May. Yes, technically that is my next one. A couple times in May. But yeah, I am excited. What did you guys think of the stream? Any questions, comments, concerns? We got 8 minutes. Let's chat. I appreciate you guys being here again on this Sunday night. If you want to join the Strive Accountability stream, go to the link. This is Strive Tribe Accountability Group. It's going to be an awesome community. We're all just going to share our journeys, share motivational quotes, just motivate each other, keep each other focused and accountable, allow ourselves to become the best version of ourselves. My first Disney World trip will be October/November. Brian, that is awesome. That is super cool. You're going to have a blast. Dom says, appreciate hanging out, Cody. Yeah, I appreciate you hanging out too. But yeah, it's going to be a fun group. It's going to be cool to watch it grow and just kind of learn like what people want in the group. But yeah, I'm excited. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button on your way out too. If you're watching the replay and you just came across the stream, subscribe. Consider subscribing. If you got something out of it, subscribe. My watch just detected a workout. I'm not sure how I was working out. Maybe I was just moving my hands too much. I don't know. But apparently I'm working out right now. That's kind of cool. Nicole says, do you take any vitamins? I do not. Unfortunately, I don't. I used to take like a greens supplement. Had like 6 or 7 new like vegetables in like a greens powder, but I don't take any vitamins. I probably should. I get outside, I get my vitamin D outside, but yeah, maybe I'm lacking in something. I don't know. Kate says, great stream. Thank you, Kate. I've told you it was going to be a good stream. And yeah, I don't know. I got 6 minutes. Next week, I think we're going to talk about the psychology of success, which I'm very excited for that. Psychology, I geek out on psychology. I read a lot of psychology. I even like contemplated going back to school for psychology because the mind is just so fascinating to me. But it's a lot of school, and I don't really like school that much. So there's that. I think I'm just going to read about it and get my knowledge that way. Mike says, thanks for speaking my mind, buddy. Not enough people do that. Absolutely, Mike. I am always happy to help any way I can. Don't forget to drink your water, everybody. Don't hate to hydrate. All right? All right. Let's see. What else can we talk about for 5 minutes? I don't know. We got a lot of quotes today, which was cool. Thanks to Brian. Brian sent in a lot of quotes. I had a few quotes myself. I might kind of remind everybody of one of the quotes that I wanted to share. Where is it? Because the stream is called Proactive People versus Reactive People, I'm going to reshare this quote. Mom says, I got to work out this week cleaning out someone's room. I don't know whose room that is that you cleaned out, but I'm sure they appreciate it. So let's go back to the quote before I just end the stream here. Okay, workout finished. Okay, we're good. My workout finished, guys. Workout finished. So reactive people are often affected by their physical environment. If the weather is good, they feel good. If it isn't, it affects their mood and performance. Proactive people carry their own weather with them. And that was by Stephen Covey, author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So carry your own weather with you wherever you go. Be the energy that steps into the room and everybody wants to be around. Be the energy you would like to attract. And remember that the universe is always listening. So whenever you can choose to be proactive, which is all the time, be proactive. Remember that you can focus on what you can control and not allow the things that you can't control to affect how you feel and how you live. Take action, own the day, own your life, and just choose to be the best version of yourself. You know how you do that? Do you guys know? You choose to strive. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Have a great week. Don't forget to join the accountability group. Go click the Strive Tribe accountability group link on Facebook. Join it. We're all just going to elevate each other. We're always going to level up and just keep pushing everybody to get better and better. I hope you guys have a great night, great week, and keep taking it day by day. Keep living your best life and just focus on what you can control. I will see you guys next week. You know what to do. Choose to strive. And Hulk smash the like button. Hulk smash. Hulk smash. See you guys later. Good night.